So W-2 and W-3, again, this is going to be reviewed for most of you. So that W-2, you've worked with the, I mean, you guys have done so much with the W-2s in all of your homework assignments and everything. And that Tax Act, you already know what all this stuff is. If you don't, I probably can't help you at this point if you don't know what it is, but I know all of you know what it is. So the W-2s have to be given to employees by January 31st. The W-3 is just the summary page of all the information on the W-2s. So as far as due dates, the W-2s and the W-3 has to be filed with Social Security Administration by January 31st. Let's see. 1099 miscellaneous forms have to be given to recipients by January 31st as well, but you don't have to send it to Social Security until February 28th if you're filing by paper, March 31st if you file electronically. So Social Security does get a copy of that. Social Security also forwards all that information to the IRS as well. We know what this looks like. We really don't need to go through that. W-3, again, is just a summary of all of the W-2s. And the W-3, the information on the W-3, all of those boxes need to match the sum of like the wages and federal income taxes withheld and Social Security and Medicare taxes on the 4 941s. So that's one of those reconciliation items when you're doing W-2 forms at the end of the year, and you're doing, I mean, the payroll department does that. They make sure that it matches up because it has to match to the penny exactly what was filed on those 941 forms. So here's a W-3. So example, so all 4 quarters of the 941, you know, that first line that shows the total wages has to equal what this number is on the W-3. All 4 quarters of the federal income taxes withheld has to equal, totaled up has to equal that as well. Same for the Social Security and Medicare wages and the amounts withheld. And then a lot of times they do have, I don't know why state information is down here as well. Some states require copies of these, some states don't. Last I knew, Iowa doesn't actually require a copy of it. That could have changed, I'm not 100% sure, but W-2C is a corrected W-2, so if a mistake was made on the W-2, and they do happen, then the employee should receive a corrected W-2C, and then that has to be filed as well. Usually if it's an error with there could be an error like in the Social Security number, that would warrant a corrected W-2. If it's an error in the address, that probably doesn't warrant a corrected W-2. If there's an error in the amounts though, that definitely warrants a correction in the W-2. And the problem with the errors in the amounts is that means also that you're gonna have to make a correction in the W-3. You very well may have to do corrected 941s as well if there's been some sort of error with that. So for example, let's say you withheld health insurance premiums that were pre-tax, but that wasn't reflected in the 941s for the federal wages on all the 941s, and it wasn't reflected on the 940, and it wasn't reflected on the W-2, which means it wasn't reflected on the W-3. Now you're gonna have to change all of it for and you have to start with the quarter where the mistake was made. Some of those mistakes carry forward into other quarters too. I've been involved with corrected ones. It can be a real nightmare just because of the snowball effect of all of those. Some penalties for late filing of these items. I'm not going to go through those in detail. You guys know how to read. Questions about the W-2s, W-3s?